Thanks, Basil. I just want to give you a bit of an insight into the Saturday afternoon team. We're a bunch of unique individuals.
Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Unique Individuals podcast. Good to have all the boys alongside me once again. How are we going, lads?
Yeah, going well, mate. Should be an absolute cracker of an episode. It's that favourite time of the week, Let's get stuck into it.
Yeah, living the dream as usual, mate. Can't wait to get into it.
Good to be here with you, boys. I'm excited.
Yep, keen. What's happened the last week, so keen to delve into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But before we do have a special guest with us, Charlie Roberts, floor supervisor for Rabbit Hole Play Centre, boundary umpire for Western Region Football League, PE assistant for St Mary's College, Vic, and is part of a podcast and is also a journalist himself. Good to have you, Charlie Roberts.
Thanks, Basil. I just want to give you a bit of an insight into the Saturday afternoon team. We're a bunch of unique individuals. Malthouse, Harley, Zemplis, McLaughlin and myself. We're going to engage with our minds and our hearts. We're going to exchange ideas, thoughts and even our energy. And to speak from the heart, you need to have courage. You need to be honest and authentic. We're not always going to get it right, and sometimes you're not going to agree with us. But that's okay, because just like you, we care. Just like you, we're passionate about the game. So if you want to come along for a ride, join us on Saturday Arvos, because we just love the footy.
Well done.
That is unbelievable.
What an entrance.
What a recital.
You've done well there, Charlie. It's great to have you.
Hang on, just to get back to your intro, are you just on my Instagram bio?
I wanted to just check that, you are a floor supervisor.
You wanted to double check the floor
boundary
supervisor.
umpire, PE assistant.
Triathlete as well.
Oh, okay. Does it all.
I don't put it on there, but
Self-indulgence. Welcome to the club.
no, that's okay.
No, he does it all. It's good. It's good.
I
for
love
you,
the
Charlie.
accent too, I must say.
Oh, thank you. So I've got to speak about when I was in the UK just very quickly. So they admire the Australian accent so much. And then when you develop that accent after a while and you come back here, people adore the British accent. They love both sides. That's what it is.
And the mullet goes with it too. He's bringing the
Best
real...
mullet in the industry, boys. So.
I got pulled up by a security guard person at Heathrow Airport when I arrived, just for that reason. I said, "Where'd you come from?" I said, "From Australia." All right, off you go.
Yeah, how long did it take you, mate, to grow the mullet that length?
Started July 2019.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible.
So just as long as Blair's been growing his beard for.
My mo, yeah. No, my mo was actually probably 2016, so yeah. So, yeah.
No, impressive. And obviously you're a mate of Jackson's. How's that? How'd that start?
How did that start? Well, it's a great question, because some random person just walked in front of me. It would have been in September at the Umpires Carnival in Shepparton. And he knew who I was, but I didn't know where he was. And then our conversation just got rosy after 10 minutes.
He's a bit like that, Mansell.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute.
He's all over it.
Yeah. And then it would have been a month later. I just finished a class and he was about to start his, go upstairs to his class. And then we just bumped into each other again.
All right.
There you go.
That's how it kicked off.
Better recollection than what I do, so there you go.
Well, what were you going to say, Jacko?
I wasn't going to say anything.
He doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember.
He's rattled big
Just
time.
one of my famous fans, just walking the streets pretty much. That was, that was how it went, so... Yeah,
we're going to get a payday this ep, I reckon.
Yeah, to give you a bit of an insight, Jackson in the last week, the amount of self-indulgence this man's been putting on himself is incredible.
It's like nothing we've seen before.
It's disgusting. It's sickening.
Revolting,
But
insipid.
We'll talk more about it when we talk about the SuperCoach Draft night, which happened last night. But before we do, let's get into what's been happening in the last week. So Hugo and Blair, the Threes boys for the Bournemouth Saints, won the semi and they are in the grand final against Malvern. How are you boys?
He's had a shocker.
Mulgrave. Don't even know the team. Boys, how are you feeling going into the week?
Yeah, a bit nervous, obviously. But yeah, great to be there. Like when we started the season, you got us to Baldwin, Hugo and myself. After getting, I think, rolled for 60 in the first game of the fours, look, we didn't really see the light at the end of the tunnel, I guess. But after we started winning, I think we've won 10 on 10. Is it 10 on the trot, Hugo?
It's 10 of the last 11. Yeah. Not sure if it's 10 on the trot, but it's around the mark.
Yeah, so to make the grand final, and we've rolled Mulgrave before, and we'll do it again, touch wood. It's just exciting, really. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good on Saturday. Blair was close to best on, if not clearly best
Rubbish.
on.
No, he wasn't best on. I was there. He wasn't best. He was top 3. You've got to give it to Matty Stewart.
Oh yeah, mate. He's
61 runs, two
Yeah.
two
He's probably
important
second
catches.
best on then.
Oh, pinners. 3 wickets, 20-something runs.
Probably don't win without the 22 at the end though. That's the key difference there. 22 not out.
Just wanted to say very quickly, speaking of Blair, I really like his cap. It's just the material of it is special.
Okay.
See, that's a lifter. That's a lifter on your Wednesday. That's what
Eat
you
your
need.
water.
Yeah. It's
Is that? I thought it says eat what you want, but it's eat your water.
Eat your water.
yeah, but like, drink your food, eat your water. That's how it works.
I've never ever heard that before in my life.
And that brand, you'll be hearing a lot more of it. Don't worry about that. They're on the way up.
Bit random there, but we'll keep moving on. back onto the cricket.
Actually, just want to say quickly, Hugo, I think you're selling yourself short, mate. I think I obviously wasn't in attendance on the day, but I was keeping track of the scores as I was with Connors as well during the day. But I noticed there was a really crucial partnership that came towards the end of that match for whoever you played. I think it was Harlequins, was it?
Harlequins,
You played, yeah.
AYC.
Yeah, and then Hugo, enter Shane Warne comes in and does his magic.
Yeah, well, just an average day at the office for me, really.
That's what he does.
Tired, but nah, I think I bowled. I got pretty lucky, I reckon. I was bowling absolute
Hugo,
fires
don't
there,
sell
but-
yourself short, mate.
I mean, I got whacked for 13 off the
Doesn't
last
matter.
over.
You got the
Battled
you got
you.
two important wickets, and essentially, settled the ship, and you're
Like, to be
on your way
fair,
to glory.
yeah, the game was like, it went in waves really. Like, after we batted, we got up to about 170. I think 169 we hit, and I was like, that's, a bit respectable. We can bowl at that. And then we, ripped through them early, 6 for 50 odd at drinks. And we're like, it's hard not to get ahead of yourself. You've got a grand final next week, potential, and you've got them 6 for 50. You're into the tail order, and we just needed a couple more, and they got that partnership going. And I can, guarantee you that there was a few nervous people around, like ball and players and supporters. And then Hugo comes on, Pinners some really important wickets. Shout out to Pinners, and Hugo 2 massive wickets as well, and then get it done with about 30 runs.
Yeah, it was good on Sunday or Saturday.
Massive. And speaking of semi-finals, Connor, yourself back at home, had your semi-final, another win for you boys, and you're also into the grand final. How are you feeling for that?
Yeah, very excited. It's obviously what you work. You work all year to try to make the grand final and go all the way. So I don't know. We played pretty well, and that was probably the best side. So we'll see how we go this week, and hopefully, it'll be 3 in 5 years 5 seasons if we can win this one. But happy enough with how I bowled, and as a team bowled really well, and it made the chase reasonably simple. Even though we didn't get it done with that many overs, we always looked in control. So did well and very excited. Hopefully we can take another one home.
Yeah, Connor's flexed his past, victories there with the 3 in 5 years. Probably not really needed. But once he brought it to the table, I have to say, if we get up this Saturday, for myself, it's 4 in 5 years. So
Bit of self-indulgence there.
Righto, mate.
it had to be done.
Yeah, it had to be done.
We were actually pretty stiff. The other two were one got cancelled because COVID, and we come a draw in the other grand final and finished second. So we didn't get the chockies, but we're always up there.
So you're feeling confident going to this week?
Yeah, reasonably confident, and they're a fair rival this side, Tahara. It obviously won't mean much to too many people. It's a pretty small town in southwest Victoria, but I don't know. We'll try our best to hopefully get up, and hopefully it'll be a good fun day regardless.
Yeah, good stuff, boys. Best of luck for the upcoming week.
And to the fours as well.
And to the fours.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We'll move on to Jackson. Now, Jackson, umpiring has kicked off for you, mate. First practice match recently just happened. You want to tell the audience how that went?
So Sunday, got to go out to the hangar for a practice match for NAB League boys. Yeah, NAB League boys it was. Murray Bushrangers and Bendigo Pioneers. Early start of 10 a.m, which, especially with what happened on Saturday night, which we will get to. It was a bit of an early start, but it was it's good to get out there at the hangar. Got to use Essendon's change rooms, which was something to see, go inside the hangar and everything like that. But apart from that, smooth sailing and.
Is it true you saw Dyson Heppel's moon boot?
That would be correct, among other things. But yeah, no. So there were, it was a good experience. So yeah.
And how was the? Sorry, Charlie, want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say 10 a.m, mate, not early at all. I reckon
it's-
4 a.m. when you're hitting the calf, you just go there, have a steak, pie. That's early, not 10 a.m. Come on.
Yeah.
10 a.m. standard. What are you talking about?
To sleep in.
I was home by 2 though. That's the thing. So
Yeah, so you had two standards.
Yeah, so you're fine. Well, speaking of Saturday night, the night before, what happened on that night, Mansell?
yeah, no, it was a good night, bar one thing. Old mate Hugo. I felt so bad for him in this situation. So we hit the town in Richmond. Hoping for a big night. Celebrate the birthday. We went to the Corner Hotel for dinner. Good establishment there, rooftop there, nice feed, everything like that. Then we thought we'd better get the party started. Went to a place most people will know, Public House, which is not far from there. And yeah, big line to get in, you would say. I mean, moved pretty quickly. One I'd say security guard walks by and goes to Hugo. He says, he's like, mate, to save you the time, he's like, you're probably best not to light up here. You won't be allowed in with that attire. Mind you, Hugo was trying his best. He was in his best outfit. Champion.
Still didn't do the job.
Champion t-shirt and Ultra Boost. But the place specified apparently, which was unbeknownst to me, but specified that no runners were allowed and you needed a collar. And although we tried with one of my mates putting on his, giving him his jean jacket, which was probably 10 sizes too small, it was no luck. Hugo, what are your thoughts on the situation?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit stiff. Didn't think it looked that bad. It looked alright. It was semi-decent. But just the collared top did me in. And the Ultra Boost, I reckon they're not runners there.
The casual.
Yeah.
You wouldn't run in those.
I really admire this podcast so much because you're 15 minutes in, you're already talking about your attire to get into Public House. I think that's brilliant. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
Another big toot for the potty.
No, but I can back here. He looked fine. I mean, maybe not the skinny jeans.
Can I just say, look, what the denim jacket did, look, it didn't get him in. What it did do is it made double denim. And those skinny jeans...
And we got the footage. We'll put it on the socials.
Yeah, I was going to say, it will be leaked. Don't you worry about that. But it was... The jeans were... they look lovely, but incredibly skinny.
Cutting off the circulation. That's how skinny.
I could see what app your phone was on, they were that tight. I could see how many coins were in your wallet. But he looked good. Far too good to get turned away, and went from there, didn't it? Wasn't great. Some of the boys stayed in, and we broke up, I guess we could say.
Yeah, but no, it was still a good night. Jackson, you were happy with how the night went overall?
Yeah, no, I mean it's a good night for the amount of time I was, I allotted. But it was, it was a good night. Good chance to hit the town. It's been a bit, but no, we'll have to make up for it at some stage because, that is proper robbery right there.
Well, obviously Hugo couldn't get in, and then we were all in there. Didn't want to leave the man roaming around Richmond on his own for a kebab, so I went out and joined him. We went to the Swan next door. Saw Caleb Poulter there. We didn't chat to him because that was a bit scary, but but we saw his mullet there, the second best mullet in Victoria, behind Chaz, our boy. So it was good. It was good.
No, good stuff, boys. Charlie.
I must say, we are really high on self-indulgence.
Wow.
No, we are.
It's almost making me sick. This is going on, but yeah, like Mansell said, we'll have to. It sounds like a bit of a shambles, to be honest. So we might have to, catch up on that one. And I obviously wasn't even there, so sorry, Mansell, I couldn't make it. I was at cricket back at home, but
no worries, mate. You were crowd surfing, so.
I didn't go out that night. I just in with the family, mate. You know how it is. I was actually quite sad to not be there, mate. So we'll have to do another thing soon.
Yeah. Well, before we move on, Charlie, what have you been up to, mate, last week?
God, thanks for putting me on the spot. I say. Well, I've just been carrying on working. That would be one thing. Triathlon training. We've got our final race of a series, race 6, on Sunday the 26th of March at Catani Gardens, St Kilda. So we're training for that. In addition, pre-season training for the upcoming season for community football, which in my league is the Western Region Football League. And I've been doing that since 2015. So it's all guns blazing at the moment. As well, job hunting. That's what it is.
Right. Were any jobs you're interested in? You know,
Any other playhouses?
You're just saying weird things, mate. Just let him
we
speak.
can barely hear him. He's not even in the microphone.
Speaking of self-indulgence,
Oh, mate.
Great call.
there you go. I've applied for, let's say, the main broadcasting companies, but not a whole lot's been heard. I think the closest been Channel 7 at the moment, but there's not much going from there
Oh, sounds solid.
at the
mate.
moment. Yeah. It's a hard one. This is one of the most difficult processes, trying to get your foot in the door. It could take a couple of weeks, it could take a couple of days, it could take months. But for me, it takes months. But as well at the moment, look, I don't mind a bit of career mode. I'm on FIFA 22 still because I've got to finish my Wrexham challenge,
Okay.
which has taken to Champions League and the Premier League. I'm only up to season 5 at the moment, battling out in the Championship. Now, the reason why this FIFA challenge has been going on for a while is because I've not really had enough time to indulge into my PlayStation within the last year or so. But I'd say playing FIFA career mode, it's really good building your business management skills. That's how I see it. So if there's ever a conflict or an argument you may have with a business owner such down the track, and you say, I know a lot about business management, you can back it up saying, I led Salford City to 6 league titles in 20. Just say that. That's all you got to say.
Oh, that's fair enough. And I can back you on that.
Note taken.
I love my FIFA, and yeah, I've done. I think my best was Sunderland career, bring him out from League One to.
Was that inspired by the Netflix series?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, that took about 8, 9.
It takes a while, doesn't it?
It does. It's commitment, but you definitely. Your negotiation skills definitely improve by playing the game.
Great way to put it.
But no, good stuff, Charlie. And yeah, well, we'll move on now, boys, to the sport talk. We'll get straight into it. AFL is just around the corner. And last night we had our SuperCoach Draft night, which was an absolute blast. But boys, let's get into the debrief. Jackson, you were the host, the MC for us last night.
That is correct.
Let's just say, in short, it was a
lot of mic time.
You love the sound of your own voice, to say the least. But how was it, Mansell, for you last night?
Yeah, no, it was a good night. Thank you for allowing me to have that mic time because, you know, as much as you might say it's self-indulgence, you gave me the license to have that mic time. So it's basically no holds barred in that situation. But yeah, no, it was, you know, second annual SuperCoach Draft and, yeah, it's safe to say that, you know, tactics have changed, or nonetheless, Hugo's haven't changed. You know, still picking a predominant Saints team. How many Saints players did you pick last year in your SuperCoach Draft?
I think I picked more than I did this year.
Yeah.
But to be in my defence, we were 8-3 at the time, so I thought we were flying. So I picked a lot more. But I was happy with how my team turned out.
Yeah.
Well,
Safe to say that you're the one that's happy with it and not everyone else.
They're
I'm happy with how it turned out as well.
They're scared.
No, I think it's fair to say Hugo's probably another underdog going into this season, with his delusional Saints cap on still. You know, Hunter Clark I think was picked.
It was his
Far too
fourth
early.
pick, I believe.
Way
yeah.
too early.
I think he's going to be the squad of all 40 for the All-Australian this year, Hunter Clark. He's going to play midfield, get him in as a defender. You get easy points there. It's just a no-brainer.
Well, okay, Hugo, we'll start with you then. Your top 3 players in your team, you reckon, that you think are going to be a threat to us boys?
I think Rowan Marshall in the ruck, you know, rucking it out as the number 1 ruck this year, is just going to rack him up like there's no tomorrow. Timmy Taranto as a forward, that's deadly, that one. I'll go a bit of a random one, but Benny Long, half back for the Suns. Like, he was in fine form last year, playing off half back line. I think you might wrap him up at the Suns.
Are you sure we're not speaking at Cooper Gresh right now? I
I think we are. Cooper Gresh is with us. No, you're right there, Charlie. He's a bit of a Cooper Grinch, this man. But okay, fair enough. 3 players that you believe Hugo they're going to be a threat to us. I don't know if that is a great list, except for Marshall. I think he'll be all right.
Toronto would be pretty good.
Yeah, well, speaking of Toronto,
Mate, Charlie's a bloody Saints supporter and he's bloody bursting out laughing. What's that going to say to yourself?
Just when you mentioned Benny Lodge.
Benny Lodge's a great player. I love Benny Lodge.
Speaking of Tim Toronto, I remember when Hugo picked him across the room. Blair was not happy. Blair, your thoughts on Hugo picking Tim Toronto, and then obviously your top 3 players that you think will be a threat to us boys?
Yeah, well, look, with Connor and Hugo's argument the other day, I thought Hugo talked that much shit about Richmond. He would be a brave man to pick one of our players. And so I was leaving Timmy Taranto there for whenever I wanted him. Thought I'd, get a few of the premier midfielders in before him and then get the Brownlow Smokey and Tim Taranto. Had him on the list for next round, and then he went to Jack Sinclair's Calves or whatever it is. And look, that
team name.
It was a bit grim. I was not happy with it. I think he's going to have a ripping year. In saying that, I've got some pretty solid players in here. Before I was looking at my team trying to think of 3, but it's a bit hard, when they're all
so good.
Yeah, I'll start with Lockie Neal. Well, the first 3 I picked, I think, were Lockie Neal, Callum Mills, and Bont. I'm pretty sure those might have been my first 3. But like Tom Stewart at the back line and maybe Yahini in the forward line, but yeah.
I can't believe, right now I'm interrupting so much, but I feel it's necessary. Now, genuinely, when you are all discussing throughout this episode, I thought you'd all be on your Google Drive rundown, but looking at the mirror of a reflection, it seems everyone has a SuperCoach open.
Well, we're analysing our SuperCoach team, so we got got to look at the field. But
sometimes some episodes I don't open the Google Drive. I'm gonna it goes off script, but yeah, no, I think those 3 midfielders probably the main ones. Lots of handy players, especially with 4 teams in our league this year rather than the 6. All our sides most of our sides are a lot very, very good sides and not much splitting us. So, yeah.
Connor, yourself?
I'm pretty happy with my side overall. It had projected 1,700 the other day, but it's gone up to 1,855, so it's not too bad. And I've got you round 1, and I'm quietly confident based on the old projected. But best players, I mean, they're all superstars, but I'd say Clay Nova, first one, obviously gun mid, he eats the footy, he gets that much of it.
It was pick 1. I think we all wanted him, and he had the first pick, so...
Yeah, no, he's an absolute freak. He'll probably average 120 this year. Sam Doherty, down back. Obviously, he's come back into the game pretty well, and racks up the footy use as well. And then probably someone like Maxi Gawn, hit-outs, goals, disposals, he does it all, so... I'm pretty confident, and around that I've got some very good players, and I think this year could be my year. I mean, I'm trying to make up for lost time. Last year was disappointing. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I'm very confident, and I put a lot of preparation in this year, so it went very well for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of confidence, there's been no one more confident this year than Owen. He's promised everything to our fans.
And you think I'm self-indulgent?
He's put himself on the line. He's given up really everything to win this SuperCoach thing. And if he doesn't, there's going to be significant repercussions. How'd you see your night, Owen?
Yeah, night went well for me. Pretty confident with it. I think it's not self-indulgence, man, so I think I just have to be confident because I know the consequences that are lined up for me if I lose this season's draft. But, like what Connor said, superstars everywhere you look in my team. Dunkley, going to be racking up a lot of points. McRae as well, Laird, Sicily in the back line. Then we got guys like Chad Warner on the bench. It's just stacked. So, point being that, I'm pretty confident going into this season. But, nah.
Are you a little bit nervous?
Yeah, it's fair to say I'm a bit. But last night went well, so I can now sleep. There were a few nights, not going to lie, that I tossing and turning during the night thinking about what I'm going to look like with a buzz cut or pink dyed hair or something like that. But yeah, confidence is up. I think you got to have it.
More of those nights are, yet to come, mate. I think by the end of the season, mate, I think you're gonna be thinking a little differently about this and be genuinely scared. And you don't know what we're thinking. The consequences are gonna be severe, and you're gonna be in all sorts. So let's just hope that someone other than Owen wins, and we can sort of pile on the pain.
Well, I mean, just looking at the fixture, you've got Connor this week, who is projected higher than you. Dare I say it? And projections aren't everything, but it's a little indicator. And then you've got me the following week. So starting the season 0-2, it's going to be tough.
Play the best two, and then Hugo might be my biggest challenge. I might just have a choke one round. But it's good. I think it's good to get 2 early wins against 2 competitive opponents.
I had to write this quite down just very quickly because I couldn't memorise it off the top of my head, like for Brett Kirk's speech. But you're speaking about performance and little indicators, projections. I wrote down, past performance isn't a reliable indicator for future performance. By Industry Super Fund.
That's true. I would like to vouch for that one because last year what I served up that's not me.
It was putrid.
Oh, well, that's a bit hard. That's hurt me a bit, but I would say it was poor, maybe not putrid. Anyway.
But no, it was a great night, and cannot wait for the season to start.
Yeah, so it'll be out on YouTube later in the week. But yeah, stay tuned for that, and should be good.
What about you, Charlie? You a SuperCoach man?
I am, usually. In the past, it used to be AFL fantasy, but what I learnt in recent years, it's very hard to manage 2 fantasy games, plus do footy tipping on 2 different sites. And I don't mind SuperCoach now. It's my preferred fantasy game to play, if anything. I did my team, it would have been a couple of days ago. In pre-season, still snoozing off the league. I'm more focused on other areas. But yeah, made a side a couple of days ago, did my tips. In terms of classic leagues, just joined a public one. No draft yet. I'm a last minute person.
Fair enough.
Genuinely.
No, good stuff. No, get around it. SuperCoach. It's a bit of fun. And yeah, no, good stuff, boys. Obviously, season starts tomorrow. Richmond and Carlton at the G. We cannot wait. Whether you go for Richmond or Carlton or just love the footy. I mean, the footy season is starting. It's what we live for. But let's get some season predictions out. Get them out nice and early before the season actually starts. Charlie, you going to say?
Yeah, I don't have a prediction, but round 1, I can't wait for it. I see this being one of the most competitive opening rounds as opposed to recent years. There's not a whole lot of obvious blowouts. I could see it being tight across all 9 games, maybe 6 or 7 to say the least. But how I see the opening round every year is a great opportunity to go to 5 games across the course of the weekend. Go Thursday, go Friday, do a double out on Saturday, find a pub sandwiched in between, and then more importantly, go to the Ross Line Dancing with the Stars on Sunday.
It's actually a good shout from you there, Charlie.
Then after that, it's not the same.
Yeah,
I just go 1 to 2 weekends.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But it's a good shout. But Thursday night, I know you Burns boys are going to go to that game. Do you think you guys are going to get the win over Carlton, who are looking quite good?
Yeah, look, let's just say last year, round 1, I was there. Was there tears? There probably was. Was there a lot of drinks? Did we drink? Yeah, we did. When Doherty kicked that goal, I had tears of a different type as a Carlton fans. It wasn't a great start. Hopefully for a bit of redemption this year. I'm obviously going to get down to cricket training because I take that very seriously, as the club knows.
Second one of the year coming up?
Probably 3rd, but 4th maybe.
That's
sorry.
4th.
One pre-season, one last
2
week.
pre-season. Hawk and Nets.
I don't even count them.
Okay. Oh, I won the journalist. So.
There we go.
Back to Richmond. So, Richmond, I'm feeling decent guys this year. Hopper and Taranto sort of revitalised me, I reckon. I was feeling a little bit stale with it after, Danaher knocked us out with that kick. So, I'm hoping to start off the season with a bang. Taranto, Hopper, looking forward to it. Going to be there, have a training and get down to the G. So, can't wait, Connor.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people there. Obviously, close to 90,000, I reckon. But I'm pretty keen. I think Richmond are going to have a good season. Obviously, Hoppo and Taranto, very good players, and we should be able to win a clearance this year, which will be nice. Yeah, but no, I see us having a pretty good year, and if all things go well, we should be somewhere close to the top 4. I would have thought. But yeah, Carlton are ever improving, and won't be an easy challenge come tomorrow night. So we'll have to play good footy, and hopefully we can just sort of nullify their midfield. They've got a good midfield, and go from there. And then we probably should be right if we can just stop their midfield from dominating.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So, boys, Richmond, definitely have improved their midfield for sure, and that's only going to make them better. That's Thursday night. Tomorrow night, get around it, can't wait. And then obviously the night after, Friday night, another blockbuster, Geelong, the 2022 Premiers against the Pies. Jackson, how are you feeling for this game, mate?
I can't say much on this game, so...
I guess we forgot.
Yeah, you should be nervous. Because I've got the Pies in the top 8, but I can see them sliding this year, mate. You're obviously not going to win, 12 or 13 games by under a goal this year, I don't think. So
This is not bad. You
Yeah,
can't really
it's
respond.
their own.
you can call it you could call it a fluky season. There's a lot of people who have got Collingwood missing the 8, so yeah, I think everything went right for you guys, Mansell, and I'm looking forward to seeing Jamie Elliott, Jordan DeGoey, blokes like this, with tears in their eyes during the season.
I like this. We can say whatever we want about Collingwood
All season.
and Jackson cannot really respond in a professional way. Gives us a bit of a power.
I hate Collingwood that much that I want St Kilda to finish higher than them, and that's saying a bit after some of my comments on the Saints the last few days. But the Pies, hate them with a passion. Hate them more than some of those North Melbourne players.
Oh my!
A glorious opening 2 nights to start the campaign, but more importantly, the match of the round for me has got to be Saturday afternoon at Marvel, North Melbourne up against the Birds of Tokyo. So, since they've introduced the West Coast, Wayne Russell likes to call them, the Birds of Tokyo theme tune to their own club song, I've not been in a single Victorian-based game for West Coast. So, on Saturday, I cannot wait for that to be belted out around the rings of Marvel Stadium, up against a side who are without Jason Horne-Francis. But for me, I'm back in North Melbourne.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'd rather watch paint dry, honestly, but I guess it looks something
It's
like
incredibly disrespectful to Alistair Clarkson.
No, who cares? Well, we'll go to the Sunday match, Saints versus Freo. Now, you boys...
I don't want to talk about
No, we're going to talk about it. Round 1. Got to have a bit of confidence, Charlie. I know Hugo does. Hugo, we'll start with you, mate. How do you reckon the Saints are going to go against Freo at Marvel?
I'm confident. I think Freo will be good this year again, but I think the Saints might pip him at the line. New first game under Ross was for the second time.
Do you like Ross now? Have you come to like him?
I've warmed up to him, but I'm still not a fan.
He has no choice.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I have no choice in the matter. But no, I think we sneak a win. I'm confident.
Okay. Charlie?
Safe to say I'm not up to his level. So we've got 8 of our best 18 players out, so that doesn't help. We're a new coach, new regime, up against Freo, who do have top 8 aspirations this season. If we somehow win, it will be one of the greatest coaching performances of all time by Ross the Boss. But I see Freo winning by 5 goals. I hope I get proven wrong so much. I will be going in hope, but my hope is usually killed after 2 minutes.
Doesn't really sound like a Saints fan here. This is quite unusual.
This is hard for Hugo to hear. He's been clinging to this. This is what he needs. He needs some wins and to.
A lot of fans will be coming out come Sunday, but that'll be a good thing for us because it is at Marvel. But I just don't know.
In saying that, I'm confident Luke Jackson kicks 4.
Yeah, this is an absolute breath of fresh air from Chaz. We've got a guy with standard logics and views that are not delusional.
I'm just saying it as it is.
Yeah,
It's quite uncommon for a Saints.
Chaz is saying it exactly how it is, whereas Hugo has a cloud of views that are just so far fetched that it's not funny. And deep down, Hugo, when you put the head on the pillow at night, mate, the Saints are going to struggle this year. They're probably going to be out of contention by round 6 or 7 just because of the injuries they have, mate. And I'm just sick of your crap, mate.
Nah,
Let's
completely
not
disagree with you there, mate. But
Ross Lyon's weird. He's just a weird guy. Yeah, he's a weird guy. He's not a good coach. He's just weird.
Oh gosh.
That's
We'll quickly
Oh,
move on
before
before
grand final.
we'll quickly move on before they start arguing. But before we move on to I guess the cricket, we'll quickly go around the room, get everyone's predictions, except obviously Mansell. But season predictions, we want Brownlow, Coleman, Rising Star, your top 8 and your premiers. We'll start with Charlie.
Premiers?
Yep.
Jeez, that didn't really select it. I reckon it's funny you ask this because when someone asked me when I was in a Latrobe Uni class in April 2021, I put Brisbane and they absolutely bottled it like Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League every year. So this season, I'm going to go back to bottling ways and say Brisbane as my premiers. Coleman, Jeremy Cameron, Rising Star, some kid called Ashcroft who plays for Brisbane. Brownlow, Medal. I like the Italian guy from TikTok, so Christian Petrarca. And if you want my top 8, this is in no order because if I do it, I've not done the top 8 in order for
Fair
about 10 years.
All good.
And I put St Kilda in there and they finished 15th in that same season. So it goes Brisbane, Melbourne, Collingwood, Bulldogs, Geelong, Carlton, Richmond and Freo.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
my 8.
Solid.
In no order.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, what I'm saying is Freo could still finish top and this top 8 prediction could be right. Maybe not set them last.
That's a good 8. Good 8. Blake?
I can live with that. Brownlow, do we?
Yeah, Brownlow, Coleman, Rising Star, top 8 premiers.
Brownlow took Miller. Tim Taranto, Smokey. Coleman, Jezza as well. Rising Star, everyone's saying Ashcroft, so I'm going to go Sam Darcy just to change it up a bit. And premiers, obviously, hoping the Tigers. And my 8 I haven't picked, but, it'll just, whoever wins enough games.
I got my Brownlow, Andrew Brayshaw.
Not Jack Steele.
No, I think Hunter Clark takes too many votes off him. Coleman, I've gone with Ben King, the return of the King. Rising Star, I'll go Mateus Philippou. Top 8, hang on. Right, Brisbane 1, Cats 2, Tigers 3, D's 4, Saints 5, Dockers 6, Pies 7, Suns 8.
Jeez, we're finishing 5th this season. This is crazy.
And then Premiers, I'd say the Tigers, I think. I think the Tigers.
Not the Saints.
Nah,
What you doing?
we're building under Ross. I think give it 2-3 years, win Hager, Owens, this side, and they'll carry us to a premiership.
Okay. Connor?
Yeah, righto. I reckon Brownlow Took. I think Blair might have said Took as well, but I definitely had him first. I just think he was close last season, and he'll go again. Coleman, Tom Lynch. Take this one as you will, but if he plays all 23 games or however many we have this season, then he's going to kick 70 goals. He had a good year last year. Was kicking over 3 a game. Did a few hammies, which cost him. He got robbed of All-Australian. Rising Star, Will Ashcroft. I think he's a ready-made player at the level and will potentially have a better first year than Nick Dacos, but it's a big call. But and then the ladder, Brisbane will finish top, Geelong second, Melbourne third, Richmond fourth, Sydney, Collingwood, Fremantle, and the Blues will make the 8 for the first time in a little while and round it out. And Premiers Brisbane, if they can't win it this year, they're never going to win it. So, I hope for the best for them, but obviously deep down I hope Richmond, but I don't know if we quite have it in us.
Yeah, no, that's pretty tidy. Hopefully the Tigers do get up. I'm happy with Hugo's vote on the Tigers as well. On Cats back-to-back, and what are your other predictions?
Cats back-to-back, but I honestly think it's such a competitive, so many teams that could win it. I think Brisbane are probably going to be our biggest test. They've only strengthened their team even more since last year. I reckon Brisbane will be the only competitor for Cats to win the premiers, to win the premiership. Brownlow, I reckon Clayton Oliver, Chad Warner, Smokey, Coleman, Jezza, Rising Star, Ashcroft, and top 8 in order: Geelong, Brisbane, Melbourne, Freo, Sydney, Richmond, Carlton, Bulldogs. So no Collingwood, which Mansell was happy about.
Obviously, moving off the topic of predictions, I want to get your tips on round 1, boys. So if you want to go through the games and just tip for round 1. So first game, obviously tomorrow night, Tigers and the Blues. Big way to open up round 1. Let's go around the room, just give you tips on the games and go from there.
We'll start. Okay. Richmond beat Carlton, not by a lot. Geelong on Friday night. Alistair Clarkson to win. Genuinely carry North Melbourne on Saturday. Brisbane, Will Ashcroft FC. Demons to beat the Dogs. That would be a cracker, by the way, on Saturday night. The Swans to win the first game at Heritage Bank Stadium. I know it's meant to Conway change their name by annual tradition. Crom, Sunday 1:10. Then we got Bombers. Jeez, I thought I was going to say Brownlow for a minute. And then Freo.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, obviously I'll kick it off with the Tigers. No surprise there. The Cats get up convincingly. I'm going to go West Coast, roll north. Brisbane are going to be a very good side this year. They beat Port even over there. The D's back on it. D's will roll the Dogs. Sydney easy win over Gold Coast. I'm going to say Adelaide, the Crom upset Giants. And then I'm going to go Essendon and Freo. Sorry, Hugo.
Yeah, I'll tip the Tigers on Thursday. Tip the Cats. I think North will beat the Eagles. Brisbane will beat Port. D's will roll the Dogs. I reckon the Suns will beat the Swans. I think Crows beat Giants. Hawks beat Essendon. Saints beat Freo.
Yeah, the Tigers, first game. We'll win that. Geelong, Friday night. North Melbourne will beat West Coast. I think Luke Davies-Uniacke will have 30 and kick 3. Absolute superstar. Brisbane will get up and do it quite comfortably and, send a bit of a warning sign to the rest of the comp. Melbourne will beat the Doggies more easily than I think some people think. Sydney will get up, but not by that much. Port Adelaide will beat... Hang on.
GWS.
Who plays? Crom played Giants, don't they?
Yeah, not Port Adelaide.
It's got Port Adelaide. It's got Port Adelaide and the Giants here. So.
That's what happens when we search on Wikipedia.
It's got 2 games that two same. Righto. Port and Brisbane. Yeah, I've already selected that one. Righto. Right, this is the shambles. GWS and Adelaide. GWS will get up, led by Adam Kingsley. Hawthorn will beat Essendon, and Fremantle will beat St Kilda by 10 goals.
How we got there?
Sorry, I didn't. It's got GWS versus Port Adelaide. GWS versus Adelaide,
What
both
website's
Sunday.
he on? What website's he on, Hugo?
It's just
It's just a
Google.
Google search. It's just a quick Google search, and it's throwing an absolute spanner in the works. Sorry.
Well, I reckon, Richmond will get up over Carlton, Geelong over Collingwood. I think North over West Coast, Brisbane over Port Adelaide. I reckon it'll be a close game, but I think Melbourne over Dogs, Swans over Suns. I think GWS will beat Adelaide. Hawthorn versus Essendon, both bad teams.
We don't have all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hawthorn. Let's go Hawthorn. And Freo over Saints. Cannot wait for round 1, starting all tomorrow night.
I'm sorry about that one. Just before with my little stuff up. So if you listen back to this and actually know who I picked, you've done well. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Out there.
Yeah, you've had a few technical difficulties over the last 24 hours. Is it your computer or is it the person using the computer?
It's just technology. Just sucks, I reckon.
I think it might be the person.
You sort of need a computer. That's the only reason I've got it. It's not that I like it or anything.
He's an old man at heart.
Yeah, but SuperCoach Draft night. Obviously, my team's very good, but it could have been unbelievable if I knew how to lock a few of my players in and didn't go the old auto field. So I think that's probably just an issue with the SuperCoach and the settings there. They've got a few issues, but yeah, I'm sorry about that little stuff
all
from
good.
before.
All good. No worries, Con.
Right. Thank you. Cheers.
We'll move on now to cricket and the basketball just to wrap things up. So obviously the Border Gavaskar series wrapped up the other day. India retaining the trophy, winning 2-1. But obviously last test there were some excellent batting performances from Khawaja, Green, Kohli and Gill. Might start with Jackson. How do you, your say on the performance from some of these players?
Yeah, no, definitely some good performances there. Seemed like a batting track, which usually for me is a snooze fest because I'm not as keen on watching people bat all day rather than watching action happening with the ball. But no, safe to say, all four of those players there were able to do it with the bat. Uzi has just been immense this series. Cam Green finally got that century, which was a hard-fought century at that as well, which, you love to see it. Virat Kohli, it's been a long time between drinks for him, but managed to get it done, I think, with, 186 it was in the end?
Yep, 186.
Which was pretty impressive. And Shubman Gill, again, he's sort of found his spot towards the top of the order, which has been good as well. So, yeah.
And obviously, since the conclusion of this match, the World Test Champion match has been announced for June 7th to the 12th. India versus Australia. Boys, how do you think Australia are going to go in that match? Played in England, so, neutral ground.
Yeah, well, we took them all the way in India, so I think when we play, at the Oval, I think we'll get it done, on a mutual venue. But no, it should be a great game, and well done to both sides for making it. Shows how good a sort of 2 or 3 years they've all had.
Yeah, I think Australia might be favourites, given full healthy. I think Australia will win, but if Australia has 1 or 2 injuries, I think India would pip them. And if India also has 1 or 2 injuries, I think they have better depth than Australia. So I think if Australia's fully healthy, they'd be pretty confident they can win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. Like, both obviously very, very good sides. I'm going to say the Aussies, obviously, you've got to back in the boys, but India, they've shown sort of what they can do in this recent test. So, you've seen Virat fire, you've seen Gill fire, those guys, Pujara was batting time. So, those guys are very impressive cricketers. So, I'll go Aussies, but it'll be tough work.
Yeah, no, definitely. Charlie, do you have anything to say on the...
No, not
test
really,
match?
but I was more than happy to just roll out the agenda and just the other dot points on the NBA. I got nothing, or not a whole lot on the NBA, but I'll just get started on the dot points. So Knicks lose that game against the Hornets. Steph fires against the Bucks with 20 out of his 36 points. Came in the final 2 minutes plus overtime. Someone said, don't talk about the Celtics, and the Nuggets have lost 4 straight games.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Well,
I won't.
I'll elaborate. I'm probably the one that knows the second least in the room of the NBA by sounding what Charlie had to say there. But all I need to know is, the Warriors rolled the Bucks. I don't care who was missing. I don't want to talk about anything like that. Steph fired. He always does. 20 out of his 36 coming in the last 2 minutes in OT. I was just watching. I found out actually the other day. I'm not a very passionate fan, I guess. I found out that we actually rolled him, so I was pretty up and about with that. And Steph to put on an absolute clinic. He's the best shooter in the league, and he just doesn't miss. Well, not on the highlights anyway. But he put on a clinic, and that's where he does his damage late in the game. And he's a pretty clutch player, so massive win for us.
Yeah. And Hugo and I were forced to watch the highlights after we revealed the news to him. So
Absolutely, I was straight on the Google search.
Real supporter right there. Don't talk about Celtics. I think I do want to talk about Celtics. Mansell, how are your boys going?
I was the one that put in don't talk about the Celtics because I don't want to talk about the Celtics. But no,
Well, that's why we're talking about them.
Quite self-explanatory.
But we did have, we had a good couple of games. We blowed out the Trailblazers and then won comfortably against the Hawks. We started a 6-game road trip, and we had a game yesterday that should not be talked about unless we want to mention that we're tanking for Victor Wembanyama. But the Rockets rolled us by 2, so
The Rockets.
yeah, so
That's embarrassing.
the less said about that, the better. So
Yeah, shame.
but Jaylen Brown 43 points was was good. Too.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter if we lose to the
Thank
Rockets.
God he scored 43 because without him, jeez, there would have been riots in the city of Boston everywhere. But yeah, you do well to lose to Houston as such a bad team. They're worse than Orlando. Look, they've probably got the worst record in the whole thing, mate. So
I think they do.
you know, Celtics always choked last year. You know, I don't know how they didn't end up beating the Warriors. They had more depth, so. They're just making a bit of a habit of it, the Boston Celtics, and I think they were going to stuff it all up again, mate, which wouldn't be music to your ears.
The Brooklyn Nets are making a habit of losing players and then just starting from square one once again.
Oh, we're doing all right with the squad we have, mate, and we're going to make the playoffs and pip you boys, and all will be well.
I'm just checking the results from today. Nets lost by 13 to the Thunder. That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're not the worst team. There's certainly no Houston Rockets, so I'm not too worried about
They're
that.
not far behind them.
Oh, they are quite a bit of a way off. And it's great to see Josh Giddey playing some good basketball for OKC and Gilius Alexander as well. What a talent. So mate, what can I say? The Celtics, you don't try to retract it on me. The Celtics, they're in all sorts. Brooklyn are doing well with what they have, and they're going to play playoffs, and that's all that really matters for me.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll move on to the Knicks, as reluctant as some may be to chat about this topic.
No.
You've spoke about it on the potty last week. May have put the Moz on, and what happened there?
We're pretending like we've had a massive downfall. We've lost one game.
With
or
one
two.
comes two.
Nah,
With
look,
two comes three.
as I speak, we are up by 12.
Oh, he said this
All right, hold up. If you saw the socials of me saying what I said, Jackson cut me out, right? I said, as I speak, we are up against the Hornets, and that will be our 9th win in a row, or 10th win in a row, if we win. He cut out the if we win. I didn't say we would win, I said if we win.
That's marketing, baby.
So you're going to win this game, yeah?
We will definitely win this game. We're up by 12.
It's down to 8 points now, so I don't know
it's
where you're
not. Let me just reload the page. But it's I'm not rattled.
It's a little bit shaky, isn't he?
Okay, it's 9 points. Okay, look, I'm going to sort of stay confident. I'm going to say away. We're good away, so I think we'll beat. No, I don't think we will beat the Trailblazers. We'll be fine. Point is though, Knicks are doing fine. All right, we're 40 and 30. Right, we're 6th. We're in the 5th because Nets lost. Thank you.
Yep. Well, you're about to lose, and it'll probably
No,
just
we
go
won't.
that way around.
That won't happen. Point is, Knicks are doing fine, and I'd be worried if I was like Celtics or something rather than Knicks. But no, we're doing
I
alright.
ain't worried, mate. I ain't worried about nothing.
That is an absolute great. That's shocking for me.
Cut
Man.
that out. Well, Charlie, what do you think about Jackson's singing skills?
His antics.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, it's
Aren't we all?
good.
It's not a good speechless. It's.
I mean, Connor's a tragic singer and he sings a lot, but at least he does it off air. Like,
Yeah, I'm a bad singer and I know it, but you don't do it in front of the mic. You do not, Mansell. I don't know I don't know what's going through your head at the moment, mate. But there's not much between the ears at the moment, mate.
oh, that's a bit stiff. Okay.
That's
a bit stiff.
No, we all love each other.
Yeah, deep down.
Alright, well that's a wrap up then for the sport talk. And I guess that's a wrap up for the episode. Charlie, thank you so much for joining us. We've really enjoyed your time and your presence.
Thanks, Basil, for having me on. That's all I can say.
We're Basils.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch and we'll see what
The future holds.
the future holds. Thank you. I can't speak. But thank you, Charlie. Appreciate you coming in today.
I thoroughly enjoyed it too.
No worries. Really appreciate it.
An incredible mullet once again.
Yeah, once again, keep it going, mate.
Can I have a touch of it later?
Off air.
We won't
That's all we need to hear. Put
But,
smiles on the doors.
Thanks, boys, for joining me today. This will be out on Spotify. Make sure to check the socials as usual, and we'll see you all next week.
See you then.